Hi guys, this is Shanna here. So today I'm going to share about how I study Japanese grammar, specifically the books I use, the resources I use, and also how I organize my Japanese grammar notes. Yeah, so in terms of books, I have a couple that I use quite frequently. So currently I'm preparing for the JLPT N1 exam again because I failed it the last time around. So hopefully with more studying, I can pass it. Maybe in December, if not then next July whenever I'm ready. Okay, so I have two grammar textbooks that I use frequently. The first one is the Kanzen Master series, which I think is a familiar book to those who are learning Japanese. Yep, so this is one that I'm using. Okay, so today we're going to use this book instead. So I really like this series also. I have the N1 and N2 grammar books. Okay, so just to show you what's on the inside. Okay, so each grammar point takes up 2 pages. Starts off with a multiple choice question, a very short dialogue showing you how to use the grammar point, and the explanation and conjugation here. Okay, so on the next page actually is the translation and the answer here. So the translation, they have it in English and Mandarin Chinese, so it's really quite helpful for me. Okay, so this will be the main text that I'm using, but sometimes the grammar explanation or the examples are not sufficient, so I will have a grammar dictionary here. So this one I bought the Korean version, but I believe this is quite a popular grammar dictionary that is available in English and other languages. So yeah, it's actually a lot more detailed. Okay, the explanations is in Korean, and then they have quite a couple of example sentences with the translation. So I usually refer to both books at the same time. This is a website that I use regularly too because it's really awesome. And once I put in the grammar point like this and I do a search, see, all the grammar point comes out. Okay, let me see whether I can zoom in for you guys. Okay, so once I search, it will look like this. Okay, love that they have teach you how to conjugate it, the meaning in Mandarin Chinese, and also example sentences here, and the explanation both in Japanese and Chinese. Yes, so they even have more in-depth explanation on similar grammar points and the differences between both. Yeah. In terms of my Japanese grammar notes, what I would do is that I'll refer to the earlier site, the contents, and also sometimes I will Google like the grammar point plus a meaning, and then I will search up relevant websites that give more thorough explanations or example sentences, and afterwards I will combine them and write it down in my language notes here, which I'm going to share how I'm doing it. Okay, so these are my Japanese language notes. As you can tell, I have 2 exact same notebooks, and this is the second one I'm using now. So let me just show you what I did for the first one. Okay, so for the first one, actually I don't really have separate notebooks for grammar and vocabulary. So what I did is that actually I split it into half. So my half, the back half is actually vocabulary notes, and the first half is grammar notes. Okay, so for the vocabulary notes at the back, I tend not to color code. I would use everything, I would just write down everything in pencil. So let me just show you. Okay, so for example, I will have this word here. Okay, so I have a word and hiragana, and then I'll write down like the kanji here, the meaning in Korean because I use a Japanese Korean dictionary, and I have an example sentence here. Yeah, so this is how I actually do my vocabulary notes. And the only the only color here will be the title of the resource, the book, the article that I'm actually reading. Yeah. So for the first half, it will be the grammar notes, and usually I will color code, and I try not to use beyond 3 color pens and 1 pencil. Okay, when it comes to color coding, it depends on how you like to do it, but usually I tend to stick to darker colors, especially if I'm writing a whole chunk of things like the meaning. But sometimes I do use lighter colors if it's just, for example, how to conjugate. Yeah. So these are the things I wrote over a couple of years, I think. Yeah, I don't really stick to the same color each time round, so sometimes you will see a bit of difference here and there. But I tend to like black, blue, purple, and a tinge of color. Okay, so let me just show you how I organized it. Okay, so let's just take this as an example. Okay, so I will write down the grammar point here, and then this is how you actually conjugate, whether it goes with a verb, a noun, etc. And here you see a page number. So previously I mentioned that I will search up the grammar point in the grammar dictionary. So the page number here actually refers to the dictionary. Okay, and then here I will have the meaning in Japanese. I tend to prefer learning grammar points with Japanese meanings, but it's up to you. You can just use your native language or whichever language you're comfortable with. And sometimes, and I will write down 1 to 2 examples using pencil. Okay, and then because the websites that I use, they sometimes introduce similar grammar points, and then I will just write it down in another color, followed by some examples here. Yep. So rather quite straightforward. Okay, so this is my latest grammar notebook, and it tends to be a lot more colorful for now. So someone asked me how I actually hold my pen as a left-hander. So I do have quite a weird grip. Okay, so yeah, so this is how I hold it. It's like the pen is resting on my middle finger, and my index finger is here, and my thumb is here. So I tend to write like this. I don't know whether you can see it, but I have a very bad habit of using my nail to really dig into the flesh here. So sometimes if I write for long hours, you can tell that there's a bit of the callus here. So let's write the notes. Oops. Okay. So in terms of writing it, in terms of the stroke, I don't think there is a difference whether you're left-hander or right-hander. Okay, so I find it very awkward to write my notes when I'm filming, so I don't tend to do that. Hope that this video has been somewhat useful, and if you liked my videos, please subscribe, like the video and leave me a comment. Thank you and see you next time.